Hi guys, so in this week that we had our class meeting today, we kind of briefly went through your new worksheet that you have that's going to be due on May 4th, Monday. So I just want to recap what we did in our class video. So as you see for number 1, it says, is 1 comma 1 a solution of the system? 1 comma 1 is referring to a coordinate point x comma y, as I wrote there, and we just plug it into both equations. So my y equals 2x minus 1 changed to 1 equals 2 times 1 minus 1. And that was true. 1 will equal 1, so we check that off. The second equation says 5x minus 4y equals 1. So you plug in 1 and 1 for your x and y and get 5 minus 4 equals 1. And 5 minus 4 is 1. So we checked that off and said that it is a solution. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 are the same thing. Number 2, you will use the same 1 comma 1 coordinate, but different equations. 3 and 4, you have a different set of equations, but you're using this one here as negative 7 comma 1. Okay. As we move down, we talked about solving these systems by graphing. So what you had to do was graph the equations that are shown, and they're already put into slope-intercept form for you. So pretty easy. That purple one that I drew, it says our y-intercept is negative 2 and has a slope of 1. So you're going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And that's your first line. Okay. The second line in yellow says we're going to start at positive 1 because that's my y-intercept. And then my slope is rise 1, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I noticed that this point right here, what we found out was 4 comma 2 will be the solution for these systems of equations because that's where they cross. As we went down, you're going to have two word problems. Number 8 will be for you to do. We talked about number 7 together. And how we have set it up for you. So it already says let X represent the cups of lemonade sold. And here are the two equations that you're going to be looking at based on this story. So number 8, you're going to kind of set up one of the equations. The other one is given. We talked about the point of intersection over here on my graph. I know there's a lot of things written there. But on the graph where the two lines intersect, my income versus my expenses is right here at 6 comma 9. And we also had labeled my axes that X means your cups of lemonade and Y is the amount of money that you get. So at 6 cups of lemonade, we're going to make $9, but it also costs $9 to make 6 cups of lemonade. So that's kind of where you break even. Okay. Part B says, where is Ramona going to make a profit? And we circled this purple part because everything where the income graph goes above my expense line is where she's making a profit. How much money does Ramona make if she sells 8 lemonades? If you look at 8 cups of lemonade and you look at your expense line, you notice how it's going to cost her $10 to make 8 cups. But she's going to make $12 back. So if we take that difference between 12 and 10, she's really only making a profit of $2. And then how much money does Ramona lose if she sells just 2 lemonades? So 2 cups of lemonades, she's only going to get $3 for that, but she's going to have to pay $7 to make 2 cups of lemonade. So we take that 7 minus 3, and we get $4 of deficit. Okay, moving on. This is the part that we didn't really get to in class, but talking about substitution. I did draw a little bit over here talking about how we're going to substitute. remember that just means you're going to take one value and plug it into the other. So for number 9, we were talking about how it's fairly easy. My second equation is just x equals 4. So I know I can just substitute into my first equation. It's now y equals 2 times 4 minus 3. Sorry, I don't know why my stylus doesn't work, but we're going to deal with that. So y equals 2 times 4 minus 3. That means y is going to equal 8 minus 3, which is really 5. We know that. So then your answer in coordinate form, we already knew x equals 4. So they already gave us that. And y is 5. Okay. In the second case, I was saying how we know y is equal to 5x plus 2. Although it's not as simple as my x equals 4, I can still take this part and plug it into the y up here. Okay, because that's still substituting my y. So 2x plus that whole equation, 5x plus 2, and I'm going to put parentheses as well, 5x plus 2 equals 9. And I put that parentheses just for you to see that I'm substituting this whole equation for the y that was once there. Okay, and I'm going to leave that up to you to solve, and just make sure to combine your like terms, use your order operations, then you'll solve for x, and then you can solve for y, and you'd be done. Okay, so if you have any other questions, I'll be available Fridays on Zoom. Link is in your Canvas, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for any drop-in questions. If you email me, I should be able to respond. Otherwise, I will see you next week for our next Zoom call meeting. Bye.